This is the episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi review. I am interested. We are gonna have a nice well, co-star, I shall say. She's more than she's not a guest anymore. She's a co-star up in here, and we're gonna be talking about the episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've got some good things, and I've got one thing that I gotta get off my chest. But if you guys were in the stream, you already know what it is. I did mention it before, and if it's true, I find it appalling, really. So we'll get to that. The co-star gets y'all, and yeah, just gonna check a couple things real quick. Actually, I'll get it off my chest now. So I was checking through Facebook, scrolling through Facebook, as one does, and I saw a video of Ewan McGregor talking about his co-star, Reva, the actress for Reva. Now, I didn't know this was a problem, and I'm very disappointed in the Star Wars fan base if this is true, because I thought y'all were a little bit better than this. I don't know the validity of the statement, but it's coming from Ewan McGregor himself. So, I mean, there's a little bit more leeway with that. But if it is true, I'm just going to go ahead and say, to those of you who are putting racist bullshit towards the actress who plays Reva, y'all need to stop. That's stop. That's not Star Wars. That's bullshit to me. And probably to my co-star here.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Yes.
You might hear like extra noises because I couldn't get my baby girl to like stay on the other room, so she wanted to come sit over
Hey
here.
man, more guests the merrier. Let's get her opinion on this too. I mean, shit. Oh damn, there goes my monetization. Well, fuck me sideways. I guess we're not making any money on this.
No.
Yeah, apparently I was wrong about the 30 seconds on YouTube. Okay, so it varies. So apparently you can't cuss either between 30 minutes or not 30 seconds or 3 minutes. I don't know which one it is. And apparently you have a number amount of the word fuck before you get demonetized, which is bullshit. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
that because we're not close to 1,000 subscribers, but we'll get there.
We'll definitely get there. And that sucks though, because
I say fuck. Fuck is like a part of my daily vocabulary, and my glass is all borked.
like I don't even
I don't even think about it.
sorry.
No, you're good, man.
I didn't even realize like how like I'm saying it a lot of times. So,
Oh yeah, dude. I'll just be like fuck and not even realize it. I cuss all the time.
Yeah, me too.
But then again, I'm not making content for kids, so.
That's true.
If your kid is watching me, well, A, he needs to go to bed because it's like 3:19 in the morning.
Yeah.
B, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not exactly a role model to live up to here.
I don't know. I think you're a good role model.
Lies. But anyway, so do you want to tell me your reaction to the third episode? I'll let you start off this.
I really loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like my favorite one so far. Sorry. And yeah, I mean the first two are good and I really like those two. Those really helped me a lot, like it kind of understand where we're at, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I definitely like this one the most so far. By far my favorite because it's like really exciting and it had a lot of like oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god moments and I just like yeah, I really like that one.
I agree. I mean, there are some things that I'm a little concerned about as far as like the lore of everything, but then again, I'm a nerd. I have no fucking life. so I have nothing but time to sit here and wonder about this.
I mean,
Um,
well, wait, hold on. When you said, because you said that earlier about you
Ewan,
worry like about what
are you talking about like the thing I was talking about Ewan McGregor?
about the lore? No,
Oh
about
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
lore. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're worried about the lore?
There's some inconsistent or not some kind of plot holes that I think they'll resolve,
Hmm.
and some just general things that I'm no, I wouldn't say I think words too big of a too strong of a word. And I'm apprehensive, like on the lighter side of apprehensive, not like fully like worried about it because I have faith in this, but at the same time, I've seen the sequels and I've seen some of the other stuff that they put out, and I'm just wary of it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the pacing's a little fast. My brother actually mentioned it. The pacing's like really fast, but I gotta remember um there's 6 episodes in this season. So I mean, I guess yeah, just for this. I don't know if
Oh
they're planning on doing
no.
like another season or not, but it'd be interesting if
Um,
they did.
I'm sad now.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do with Obi-Wan because I mean, he has to be on Tatooine when Luke is a fully grown adult. He has to be. I mean,
Mm,
otherwise, A New Hope is just invalid. You can't have that.
I don't really know what that means, but but if if he has to be on Tatooine when Luke's a fully grown adult, then there should be plenty of time to do stuff with him, right? Because Luke's a kid right now.
Yes, but his assignment, I kind of agreed with him, was his assignment was to watch over Luke, not Leia. I get it, two peas of a pod, brother and sister. I get that,
Mhm.
but I mean, Obi-Wan's primary concern is the boy. If that boy dies, so does the hope of the entire galaxy, from his point of view.
Why? Why can't it be Leia's
Because
the hope
Anakin was
as
an only
well?
child,
Hmm.
and so Obi-Wan probably is assuming, okay, since Anakin is a guy and Luke is a dude, so the force sensitivity may run through the male side of the family, not the female. We know that's not true from later movies where Leia is force sensitive, but at the time Obi-Wan has no idea.
Really? She ends up by having the Force?
Yeah, she ends up training for like 3 weeks, realizes she's pregnant, and dips.
What?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god. I. Wow. What? When you say she dips, you mean like she gives up on her training and stuff?
Yeah, she basically tells Luke, "Hey, I'm pregnant. Fuck off. I got a child to raise."
Oh, wow.
Pretty much.
So where's her child?
Her child becomes Ben or Kylo Ren,
Isn't that a dude?
the bad guy of the sequel trilogies.
Oh no.
He
This
gets
is,
redeemed. It's okay.
oh no. I mean, I this is sad.
Star Wars is just like a big tragedy, but a really,
That's
really well
sad.
told tragedy. Oh, the Greeks
That's
love tragedies. Why
sad.
can't we?
I mean, I'm not. I mean, a tragedy, guess, can have good story, I guess, but like nobody wants that, right? I don't want tragedy.
I mean, look at Star Wars' timeline. You got 2 movies where everything's going great, and then you have Order 66 in Episode 3. Anakin falls. You got Episode 4 starts on a high note, ends on a high note. Episode 5 starts on a dark note, ends on a high note. Episode
Mhm.
6, which starts in a neutral zone, ends on a high note. I think the trilogy or the prequel trilogy was the only one that just went full blown into the dark, and I'm okay with that.
How, how come there's not one that's full blown into the light?
I guess you could argue that the sequel trilogy is all happy, happy, joy, joy.
Really?
Yeah, I guess. I
Then maybe
mean,
I like that. Isn't that the one you don't like?
yeah, yeah. And
Like
my
maybe
complaints are really simple. If you want to make a bad guy bad, you gotta make him despised. Look at Darth Vader.
that.
People were afraid of him. Look at Reva.
Maybe-
That bitch will slaughter you just for looking at her the wrong way.
I
Didn't-
know. I hate her.
I mean, I don't hate her actress. Her actress is doing a
No, no.
fantastic job of portraying
She
an
really
asshole,
is. She
of
really is.
a really unlikable person.
Yeah, she really is. Cause I mean, I can't stand her character. Cause like, oh, I just can't wait for her to die.
She's gonna get what's coming to her. I know that. That she gonna either Darth Vader. She gonna fuck around and find out. Like Vader, she gonna disobey Vader, and Vader is gonna be like, you really just because you're my teacher's pet doesn't save you, sugar tits. Sorry.
You think she'll disobey him? I don't think she'll disobey him because
Well-
I think she is too much of a teacher's pet to to disobey him.
We'll get to
But
why I think she'll
she'll,
disobey
like,
him,
oh,
and it's very interesting.
how
But I
do
mean,
you know that?
why I think that she will?
Hmm.
Just general. I understand how ambition goes and what you're willing to sacrifice, but I think she's really going to fuck around and find out with the wrong person.
She definitely seems like the type. That's for
Yeah.
sure. But I don't know. Maybe I feel like. I mean, I have no idea, so I'm totally guessing. But like, maybe she would. Maybe she would just like, she'll get like closer and closer to Vader as like his right hand or something.
Nobody got close to Vader unless
Well,
unless Disney's trying to humanize him, which I don't think so via this episode.
I mean, like in her eyes, like the way she kind of presented in this episode, like, after she had spoken to him, which I can't remember, like how she was able to just go talk to him the way she was, but after that, when she went back to like the panel, the panel of that,
The board of directors for the Inquisitors,
Yeah.
if you will.
yes, the panel of bad guys. Then she was like, she was, she was very like, like,
Smarmy.
yeah, and she was like, I talked to him. He said, "Do what I want."
Suck my dick, bitch.
Yeah, she was very like that. So I kind of feel like even if Vader doesn't see her as close or right hand or anything, she is like wanting it so much that maybe she's like,
She would suck off his robot dick if it got her the fucking Grand Inquisitor share. Let's be
oh
real.
my god.
Like she would go full throttle on that.
Stop.
I mean, so,
But I'm saying, like maybe like maybe she'll like either start overstepping her like like
oh, 100.
whatever.
Yeah, her authority. Oh, 100%.
And so, and then or like maybe she'll start like assuming what Vader would want and doing like kind of what she did on her own, like, and then he'll get pissed and scold her, and maybe she'll get pissed at him if he does something like punishes her or something. I have no clue. This is just like what I
Speculation.
was thinking how it would go. To be honest, I'm still holding out hope that like she'll try so hard to like please him, and then when they actually meet him, we'll see him meet in person eventually, and when they do, I don't know if we did or no, I don't think we already did, but then he'll just kill her. Like she'll either say something that
She'll just do something stupid.
yeah, and he'll just like fucking just instantly kill her with no regard whatsoever.
She's just an ant to him.
Yeah, so I want to see that.
I mean, honestly, I think that she might do it a little bit quicker because, and we'll get, like I said, we'll get there. But I mean, the episode starts out with her talking to Vader, which she's overstepping her bounds already because the I think his name is the fourth brother, but buff Asian guy, that dude. I still don't remember his name, but I remember that with the fucking
Yeah.
diabetic foot massager on his head. Yeah, so he's like, hello, I was next in line. Who the
Yeah.
fuck are you?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, life would have been so much simpler as he was, just absolutely destroying her with the force, making her bow and everything, just snap her neck. So much, your
know.
life would be so much easier.
And he's a bad guy, so he should be fine with that. Like,
Right?
I don't get that. That is like, I would have totally done that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also, what did the other bad guys know that she killed the leader bad guy?
I don't think they do. Otherwise, I don't think Vader. I think Vader may have a made no, because there's always this like trying to outrank, like trying to outdo each other in the Inquisitorius.
Mm.
But I don't think you can actually kill each other. I think that's like a step too far. You can't really do that. I may be completely off basis, but even Inquisitors who hated each other, like absolutely loathed being with each other, still worked together to get the job done, and then just went back to bickering afterwards. Only Vader can kill Inquisitors and not have any. Vader can kill anybody he wants, and it just be okay, as we see
So
later on in this episode.
the Inquisitors to Vader are like the Jedi to Yoda.
Well, I mean, yes, as far as like the ranking structure kind of goes, like Yoda was on top and the rest of the Jedi were underneath him. Vader is on top, and way down below, right where you can barely see it, is the Inquisitors. He doesn't give a fuck about them.
Okay, so they're pretty much nothing. And
They're Jedi hunters. That's all they are, and they hold high rank, I guess, in the in the Empire. But it's kind of like the only reason you have that rank is you have a shiny sword that can cut through anything, and we're afraid of you.
oh, okay. I get I see them differently now.
Yeah, I would say like Rebels introduced the Inquisitorius, the animated show Rebels, and it kind of fleshes it out a little bit on what happens, what goes on, like why the Inquisitors such jackasses, da 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 da. Like I think every Inquisitor is either a former Jedi or a youngling. I think the Grand Inquisitor was a Jedi Knight when he was recruited or turned, wherever you want to insert word here. So I mean, the episode starts. We're still on the cargo ship. Leia is being Leia, and Obi-Wan's
You
just.
better stop. You better stop. You better stop that with Leia. She
I'm-
is a child.
Her child actress is doing fantastic. I don't like bratty kids, man.
Well, I mean, I get that. And also in this episode, and maybe I shouldn't even say this. Okay, I'm just gonna say. So I did feel like, I don't know, this episode, like I think the Leia's actress did really good in the first two episodes. I feel like in this episode there was a few times and I just want to say first of all that I'm like not a fan of child actors because they kind of,
They get
it's
fucked
nothing
over.
against them, they are children, but they do throw me like out of the like
They suspend your suspension of
yeah.
disbelief.
Yeah, and it like throws me out of the the vibe of it just takes me out of it, and yeah, I don't want to be rude, but so there was a couple times in this episode where I thought maybe the what her role called for was a little out of her reach, and it was throwing me out a little bit, but it didn't like kill it at all for me because she's so cute.
Yeah, she's cute, but I'm thinking from Obi-Wan's perspective on this. Like, I'm risking my life. Do what I fucking tell you, please. For the love of God.
I mean, I get that, but I also kind of feel like as the adult, it's his duty and her protector, it's his duty to kind of make her do what he feels is best. So if he feels what's best, like when they were like trying to meet up with the backup, you know,
Yeah.
and in that like deserty field, and then
In Nevada. Let's just go ahead and say
yeah,
it's in Nevada.
and they weren't, you know, there was like they barely got there, and already Leia was like, well, there's no one here. Let's hitch a ride. And he was
God.
telling her no, and it's a bad idea, and like you know all that, and she just was like, off we go. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's annoying. 100%, I get that, but and I agree. But like, I feel like it's his job to have just like pick her little ass up and just make her wait. You know,
Yeah,
like
agreed.
you know you're can't just follow her around, which I don't know, I guess
Just spank that ass. That's what that ass needs, is a spanking.
stop
Jesus.
that. But
I
yeah,
mean,
I think like two things. I think two things is like, you know, like one, if he was, you know, doing what he probably would do, and which is, you know, like not let her run off like that, I think then it'd be a really hard time progressing the story for the show. And also, so we gotta give him like some slack, you know. And also, I don't know, I kind of just tell myself, just to make it understandable, like to make it make sense to me, I'm just like,
yeah,
well, maybe
your head
he's like,
canon.
yeah. Is that what that means?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's like that's how I interpret it.
Oh, I wasn't sure exactly, but I have heard that before. So yeah, I just kind of feel like I just kind of tell myself like, okay, well, you know, this is like she's special, not just in general, like you know, because she's, you know, the daughter of, you know, like Padme
Yeah,
and Anakin, but look, I got the names right, yay!
exactly. There you go. You're
But
learning.
I'm learning, but she's
We'll make a
also
Star Wars
special
nerd out of
to
you
him.
net. Yeah.
Like she's special to him, just like Luke is special to him, and you know, like I feel like, especially because he's been all like, you know, sad and stressed and, you know, like tormented and stuff all these years, just being able to see her and spend like quality time with her, like I think it's just like he can't help but like he doesn't want to just yank her around and tell her no, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he's giving her room and
Way too
just,
much of a leash, in my
I
opinion.
mean, yes. Yes, I agree with
Way
it.
too much.
I agree for like for sure, like there's a lot of times where I'm like, what are
Rein
you
that
doing?
child in.
So I mean, hopefully that stops. But now you're telling me there's only 6 fucking episodes, which means we're already like only got three
Halfway
left.
through, yeah.
That sucks. I'm like really loving it, and I'm used to shows with like 24 episodes and shit, and now it's like, oh,
Well, I have some good news. Bad Batch season 2 kicks off September 28th. So
um,
that'll be after I start my classes at SDI. So heavily check out the YouTube channel because I will be recording for that and probably doing a reaction series on that.
so can you? I'm gonna be really bad, like bad co-host right now.
Mhm.
What? Can you remind me about the Bad Batch? Which one is that one again?
That one is with the Clone Special Forces division
Okay,
or
okay,
unit.
okay. I got you. I got you.
Yeah,
I
with
remember.
big ass
That's the one I was
Wrecker
thinking.
and the one
Okay.
child clone that I like,
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking, but
Omega.
okay, okay, I
So
got you.
before we get any further into this,
That's right. I only saw one episode.
before we get into this, I want to show the season 2 trailer.
Okay.
So I may be able to put it on Discord, but you may have to see it on the on the whoops, because there's some heavy hitters coming into season 2.
in like characters.
Mm-hmm. And it sent my nerd senses were tingling. All right, let's see if I can
Any
put this
good
up in
ones?
Discord. Oh yeah. Let's see Bad Batch trailer. All right, let me know if you can see it.
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Okay, I can. Yes.
Okay, you can see it. Sweet.
Mhm.
All right. So I will talk about this. This is you're getting a twofer, YouTube. You're getting a twofer.
You can buy your freedom.
I've already watched this like 3 or 4 times.
You can have a future.
Just pointing that out.
Isn't that what you're after?
We're already free.
Clear. You're not paying attention to what's happening out there.
It is time for a new era.
Well, hello there, Mr. Scrotum Face.
There are others out
That
there
was
who need
Scorch.
our help.
How we doing?
We'll take all the allies we can get.
Okay, so I want to point out, let's see, right here. This man right here. Any guesses on who he is? This is a very trademark scar right here.
Okay, I know a very few people, so I don't think I actually know him. So I'm just gonna guess from a random name that I know. So I'm gonna say Han Solo.
Nope. I appreciate you, Gusto, though. That is Commander Cody, General Obi-Wan Kenobi's clone liaison.
I almost got it.
Yeah. The way I can
No.
tell is that little shoulder fin right there and the scar. Now, that dude appeared in Clone Wars. I don't remember his fucking name, but he's a Wookiee Jedi. He's cool as shit. Let me see if I can
His
go.
name is Chewie.
No, that's a different Wookiee. This motherfucker. Oh, he's gonna be a good villain. His name is what's his actual Republic? He was in Republic Commandos. It's RC something, which Scorch. Scorch Commando. What's his fucking designation? RC 1262. Scorch. Of course, it's probably CC 1262 because Disney has to change everything. It's your fucking name on the box, Disney. Your fucking name on the box, Disney. I was looking over at the wrong screen. I'm gonna redo this because it's bothering me. So this guy was part of Delta Squad, which had Boss, Fixer, Scorch, and Sev. Those were the 4 clone commandos that you played with. You played as Boss in the Republic Commandos game, and you basically led these guys around during the entire time. I cannot hear you. Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I thought Discord was being weird.
No, that was me.
Anyway, so he is a highly trained. He is a Generation 1 clone commando. Out of the 10,000 that were deployed, half of them were killed on the first day of the war. Him and his team suffered 0 casualties.
Oh, but
That's impressive.
yeah, but he's not a good guy.
Not anymore. Nope.
Why? What happened?
Order 66 happened, and the clones became the Imperial Stormtroopers, and these guys were commissioned without consent, if you will, to train the next generation of Stormtroopers and the human recruits, as was Commander Cody. Commander Cody hates the homegrown recruits, the natural-born human recruits. Hates them. Understandable.
Let's go.
But the biggest mystery that persisted for years up until probably season 2 is what happened to Commander Cody. We know he was stationed on Kamino, but Kamino's no more. So what happened to him? Where'd he go?
So he's a bad guy?
Yeesh.
Oh.
Yeesh. Yeesh. He's not a good, well, he still fights for the Empire. He's not necessarily under the influence of the inhibitor chip anymore, but he still fights for the Empire. So I guess you could call him bad, but everybody loves him.
But the robot-looking one who didn't lose any men, he is under the inhibitor chip, right?
No, I believe now in the timeline when season two comes full throttle, the clone inhibitor chips would not be working anymore. So those who stay are doing so willingly.
And how did the chip stop working?
It was supposed to override their thought for Order 66, make them turn on the Jedi and keep them under that until a certain amount of time or whenever the effects started wearing off, and then they regain their free will. So those who are still in the Imperial service are doing so willingly.
Let's get to work.
How far did, oh my god, it's already on season 2.
Coming fall 2022.
I'm so behind.
That's fine. That's fine. You have the entire month of August to catch up. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. That's going to be probably a longer reaction series, so definitely stay tuned for that because I do plan on doing more with that and get Miss Noodles caught up on Star Wars so we can nerd out together. Like seeing Commander Cody was just, it's like finding a unicorn and then finding a white stag right after it. Seeing Scorch, then fucking Commander Cody, like, oh my god.
I mean, I was pretty excited. Just, I don't know. Every time I'm seeing like Obi, like, and things happening, like, you know, when he was facing Vader and stuff, like things that are big for him, you know, and like meaningful. I just get like, ah.
Yeah, that we'll get to that. I got some stuff to say about that, and they all good. So, going back to the Obi-Wan Kenobi, I kind of like segued hard off, and I apologize. But, you know, we're in Nevada. He's walking around, you know, he's talking, he's telling Leia, you know, hey, stop this shit. I am risking my fucking life here, and now I've been outed, so there are worse things than Inquisitors in this galaxy. And Anakin Skywalker's alive. Oh, fuck. We're in trouble.
Yeah, that was like, oh my god. I don't know. It was very, very cool. Like, just all of it. And I was so upset when it ended.
Oh, they gotta stop doing these fucking cliffhangers, man.
They're doing good though. They are. I mean, they're torture, but they're doing them good. Like,
I mean, you know, I props to Ewan McGregor, man. He's doing a good job, you know.
do you think that they'll have a second season?
He is pretty adamant that there is a second season coming.
Really? What did he like? He said something.
His Twitter posts, and I don't have them on hand, otherwise I'd do it, and Facebook and stuff like that. But he's pretty adamant, so I'm hopeful. But I mean, you know, I remember when I was saying last episode, I wish they'd stop coming up with new alien species.
Oh yeah.
So we meet Freck. For all intents and purposes, he's a fucking mole rat.
Yeah, he
Like,
did look fun.
Like, I get it, Star Wars. You want to push the boundaries. You want to make new alien species. You want to make... If you're gonna make a new alien species, don't make a giant fucking mole rat. Come on.
I mean, maybe they have to make a bunch more species because, like, maybe there's like copyright issues. I have no idea.
Well, the copyright issues wouldn't matter because George Lucas sold Star Wars and everything, I would assume, to Disney. So I mean, they could. I mean, I enjoy like getting like, oh man, that's new, that's interesting. I I enjoy that. That's kind of fun. Like, this whole series has been just one giant mind fuck for me, because everything I thought going into this has not happened.
Okay, you gotta tell me that, because for me it's just all brand new, and like you're like your whole shit's getting like
Rocked.
turned upside down. Yeah, and you're like, I don't know why, so you gotta tell me, because everything doesn't seem like that to me, you know?
Well, and one of the reasons I say that is Obi-Wan went from a warrior, and I explained this in the last episode, and I'm not rescinding what I said.
Mm-hmm.
He went from being the general that everybody wanted to serve under, the badass, to frail old man. I get why. Don't get me wrong. But somewhere between, and I think this episode may be the catalyst that kind of gets him back in the gym, so to speak, and he gets back in the saddle.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
you have to put the trauma. I mean, granted, that trauma was bad. And there was a post, I actually screenshotted it so I could read it. And it's a little on the heavy side. Gallery, where are you? For the love of fuck. There we go. All right. No, I don't want. Fuck you. Fuck off. All right. So basically, in A New Hope, Luke's asking about Ben, and Owen, jackass Owen, was like, I don't think Obi-Wan's alive anymore. He died about the same time as your father. Ben's not dead.
Who's Owen?
Owen is the uncle that we saw in episode 1 or 2.
Okay, start over, please.
So Owen, the uncle from episode 1 or 2, I don't remember, is saying, Luke was asking in the movie A New Hope, which is when Luke's like a 19-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's saying, what happened to Obi-Wan Kenobi? Why is this droid looking for him? And Ben says, well, I don't think he's alive anymore because he died about the same time as your father, Anakin. This post, however, puts it into a broad perspective. So it goes, and quote, I just love this post. It's so easily overlooked. It seems unimportant until you see the prequels. Because then you realize how utterly true and heartbreaking the phrase, he died about the same time as your father, is. Meaning, Obi-Wan, that for all intents and purposes, Obi-Wan, hold on, where was it? Meaning that Obi-Wan, that is, everything that made him who he was, his faith, his joy, his light, was murdered, killed. At the same time, Anakin was lost to the dark side. When Anakin became Vader, Obi-Wan became Ben. Anakin and Obi-Wan died together on Mustafar. Only Vader and Ben are left.
Thanks a lot.
Hold on. One is full of hate and darkness, and the other is a broken shell merely existing, not even really living. These two men were so deeply intertwined, so bonded together in the Force. When one died, the other died as well. That's the definition of love. So with that quote, it changes your perspective of how just different these guys are. They were so deeply connected that when one died, the other died as a result.
That is very sad.
But it's very true when you watch the prequels. So
You don't like the prequels, right?
oh, I love the prequels. Absolutely fucking love. I hate the sequels.
Okay.
It was just, and it's not for the actors or anything. It was just shitty writing and too much fan service.
That's sad.
Yeah. But when you read that post and you think about it, then you start realizing why Obi-Wan is just not Obi-Wan. He's Ben.
Yeah.
And you understand that. And then you see a little bit of Obi-Wan in this episode, right? He gets to the safe house. This, I mean, first of all, brutal on that one poor stormtrooper who gets shot off the tower and then just fucking, what's the word? Not eviscerated. Disemboweled, if you will. On a laser grid, just cuts him right in half. That sucks, because he was probably still alive until that moment. Then he's dead. Or if he's like Darth Maul, he'll come back in like 2 or 3 seasons. That'd be kind of funny.
It would be.
So Go for it.
I well, I kind of hope we see. I don't know. Now it just seems even more like even if we like because I feel like just basic kind of storytelling that like we're seeing Obi like at his worst, you know,
Mhm.
and his lowest, and there's not a redemption because he, I mean, maybe in his eyes, but like, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe in his eyes, his redemption would be like being able to like still take care of the kids or
Mhm.
help them, you know, like guide them or even from afar. But anyway, I just feel like I don't know, like then there's just it's just like just 100% tragedy and 100% like there's nothing to look forward to if he's not able to like regain some of what he's lost, you know, and be who he was.
Mhm.
So I like to some extent, you know, like just kind of find that spark or whatever it
Mhm.
is within himself that like keeps him fighting and just kind of gets him back to where he was, even just a fraction of where he was
Well, and that,
before, you know.
yeah,
So
and
if
that's
that,
what I. Oh, sorry.
no, it's okay. It's just like if that doesn't happen, that's gonna be like, you know, it's like just fucking sad.
Well, and that's why I said you see a flicker of Obi-Wan in this episode because they're in the safe house, and I don't know, you may have caught this, but he's reading. He points at he's like reading the wall very intently, and he goes, "Quinlan was here. Quinlan
Yeah.
Voss is another Jedi. I don't know if he was a master or a knight. He was a very unorthodox Jedi, either way. Survived Order 66 quite, I wouldn't say easily, but he kind of flexed on his clone troops. I mean, his clone commander, I believe his name was Fay, Clone Commander Fay, shot the clone turbo tank that Quinlan was in. Quinlan was like, no, fuck you, I'm not dying. Escapes into the woods of Kashyyyk. Quinlan's like, I'm gonna murder this entire town unless you come out and fight me. Quinlan does. Mercs absolutely fucking shows up Faye, kills him, and then just goes on the lam. I was like, fuck you, I'm not dying today, you're dying today. Sucks to suck.
Where's that?
That is actually, I believe, in a comic that I was watching a video about. And I was just like, yep, that seems about right for Quinlan Voss. Yeah.
So like he saw that he was still alive and had this like
Oh my god.
flicker.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, you could kind of see his face like light up because him and Quinlan Voss, I believe, were very good friends, even though they were very he was not an orthodox Jedi at all. He basically looked at the rule book, threw it over his shoulder, and said, "I'm gonna do what the fuck I want," and he did.
that's cool.
And then you have one of his good friends, who is a very hardcore rule follower, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's like, how the fuck did you two? Huh? Okay, we're rolling with it. Let's do it.
Do you think we'll see Quinlan in the show, like in
100.
future seasons? And I really do
100%.
hope there's multiple like seasons. Like I really love this. I don't want like I know he certain but like I don't want it to end soon. Like I want Obi to like I don't know, I guess find a place of content, and before, the inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
So I hope there's more seasons, but
I think there will be multiple seasons because depending on the way they end this, I can pretty much confirm or deny that there will be multiple seasons. But just Star Wars has a very bad habit of mentioning a character, and then in like the next 2 episodes they appear. So
you see, you see, that's why I was like, maybe we'll get to see Quinlan.
I hope we do, because we saw him in episode 1, The Phantom Menace, but he didn't talk to the Jedi. He didn't talk to Qui-Gon. He didn't talk to anybody because he was in deep cover. He was like, I can't fucking blow my cover. You're here. That's great. Move on. Go. Shoot. Fuck off.
And that's a show or a movie?
Movie.
Okay. So we know what he looks like?
Yeesh. We know what he looks like in real life and in animated form.
I'm gonna have to look him up so that way if he shows up, I can recognize him.
You'll be able to recognize him very easily. He's got a big old yellow tattoo going across his nose.
Oh.
Yep. That's why I was like, after I became a Star Wars nerd, I watched a Phantom Menace. I was like, that's Quinlan Voss. You might want to cover that tattoo up if you're going undercover.
I know yeah.
That's just me. And speaking of undercover, my God, Obi-Wan. You are about as slick as a rusty file on a Tuesday. I mean, you're in the back of a carriage with a fucking mole man, and you're talking to these stormtroopers. You fuck up the name. You call her Leia instead of Luma. And then you make up some bullshit story. That was her mother's name. Very good on the spot acting. I will give you that. That was her.
It was a mixture. I have so much to say about that because I'm sorry. It was a mixture of when he like first covered. Oh, that was her mother's name. Like you said, it was like off the cuff covering, and that was funny.
One, you continue talking. I'm gonna go grab a drink.
No.
I'm thirsty.
Okay, fine.
Continue. I think I know what you're about to say, anyways.
You do not know. So, yeah, I was just saying, like, crap, I forgot what I was saying. So basically, like, it was just like, it was funny, and then also like it turned like, you know, touching slash
Sentimental.
heartfelt. Yeah, sentimental. Thank you, because because he really. You know what he was saying, like sometimes I look at her and I see her mom and I honestly like, oh no, my heart.
I mean, yeah, I felt that. I was like, oh, that's very touching. Very good off the cuff acting. I will give you that. First of all,
the first part was funny, but then it got like, oh my God, my heart. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's been hard on all of us. I have trouble remembering. Yeah, I would too. But yeah,
That too was funny.
You're a Jedi Master. You got to be able to think of shit on the fly, homeboy. It was good that you did, but then you know you get to the checkpoint, and then you pull you got the patrol moving up, and then you pull your hood up. You weren't wearing it before, but you pull your hood up. You're like, as just a regular person, I'm like, the fuck are you trying to hide it?
I understand, but also like he's surrounded by the enemy. He's been out of the game for a little bit, you know, like I get it, but also just that fucking rata, like it was a stupid mole rat.
Bro, he should have just shot him. Honestly. Come on, Obi. The time of being a peacekeeper is over. You need to get your hands dirty. Yeah, you whacked him on the back of the head, but he's gonna remember you. He's gonna remember you for that.
God, I hope we don't see him again because I fucking hate him.
I would have just shot him.
He literally just like ratted him out.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking bitch.
Ugh, that pissed me off so bad. And like Obi had no choice at that point. He had to kind of like go.
He had to go off the cuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I loved this episode. I know I've been saying some like criticism about it, but don't get it twisted. I like this episode. I like it a lot.
It was so good.
There are some. Go for it.
No, sorry. I was like laughing and like I don't know, just like it was like very excited throughout the whole thing. I was just like like.
I gotta say, going back to the beginning, when you see Vader step out, and it's just like, damn, this. See, when I was a kid watching A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, we were limited by technology. We couldn't do all the flashy stuff that we have now because we just didn't have the technology.
Oh.
So Vader in those looks a little just older, a little bit slower, and it makes sense because Anakin and Obi-Wan are like 30 or like sorry, like 40 and 50 at this time. In A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. They're
Wait,
they're not old men, but they're gonna slow down a little bit. Now we're getting Vader in his prime and Obi-Wan in his prime. So we're starting to see the more flamboyant fighting styles, the more energetic two young men that we saw in Revenge of the Sith.
so Obi and Vader are in their prime right now?
Yes, the Anakin's probably like 25. Obi-Wan's maybe closer to 40 right now. He's like mid to early 30s, I'd say. So
Okay.
he's just starting to get the touch of gray, you know. You got the salt and pepper look going a little bit. Anakin, unfortunately, is looking like a burnt nacho. Unfortunately. So I mean, I can't really say he's got the the whole salt and pepper going, but he's got a crunchy, crispy outside, if you
You
will.
mean Vader, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He's a burnt little croissant. So I mean, he's a pissed off little croissant, if you will.
Yeah.
Rightly so. I mean, and, you know, I'm probably skipping over a lot of I'm hitting the high notes here because I realize that this is already an hour long, and I apologize.
No, it's not. You lie.
It is 51 minutes, 17 seconds, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. It's just, so, yeah, we get to the where they gotta go, and honestly, one of the most like spine tingling scenes in the entire episode. And Obi-Wan's about to walk through the tunnel, and then he just doubles over, and he's gasping. That's happened, and I can explain why.
Oh, yeah. I
So
was gonna ask you about that.
Anakin or Vader resonates the dark side in such a magnitude. It was described in Rebels as an intense feeling of cold, hatred, and pain that would catch any Force user off guard. So he radiates that. And that's...
Yeah. Oh, that was like... He like said, I was gonna ask you, like, can they sense each other? Because like he was like, it was like a dog, like sensing something,
just sniffing him out.
Yeah, like sensing like a natural disaster before it happens.
Oh yeah, I mean,
what the, you know?
It's to a lesser degree with other Force users. So you got like, let's say you got two people who've never met. You can recognize that they're Force users, but you don't know the person. Vader has the upper hand here because those two know what each other feel like in the Force.
Okay.
So
because I was like,
go
ahead. No, you.
So when Vader walked around that corner, Obi-Wan got a gut punch because that was his former apprentice who has nothing but hate, malice, and anger just radiating from him. It was like a fucking punch to the nuts.
And he was even there looking for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh.
So I mean, the cat and mouse began. I will give Obi-Wan one thing. Running was probably his best option for survival.
Yeah. And that was kind of one of the only things I was like, no, because I understand like why Obi would wanted to kind of, you know, like tell Leia to run with the lady and stay back, and kind of like he kind of couldn't look away for a little, like he had to really see if he was seeing what he was seeing, you know. Like he thought he was dead. He thought he's the one who killed him. He's been tortured about killing his, you know, bro. And like he was just like just trying to like he couldn't help it. It was like a car wreck. You don't want to see it, but you couldn't look away. And
exactly.
And it was like, but so I get it, but I was also like, that was the only time I was like, oh my god, Obi, like go away, like run
fool.
Like, stop. Like, not only are you losing your Vader focus on, you know, protecting her because she shouldn't be off running alone, you know. But also, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he's coming towards you, and he
Well,
wants.
in that instance, he didn't have a choice because he had to protect Leia. Vader could not find Leia or Luke because then he'd realize I have children. Holy shit! This is news. And his only option, and kudos for the brass balls, because he probably in that exact moment he's like, I'm going to die. Fuck. However, we know he didn't, because otherwise he would not be in A New Hope. But yeah, as far as Vader, the thing that I think is happening, Obi-Wan's cut himself off from the Force. We know that. We know that from Episode 2. What Anakin is feeling isn't, he's not sure if it's Obi-Wan. He wasn't sure because he couldn't like look if Obi-Wan was connected to the Force, if Vader were honed in on that son of a bitch like a fucking radar gun. Just bing, 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 bing. Here I am. Come kill me, please.
I didn't think of that.
So that kind of helped Obi-Wan because Vader was like, I think he's here. We know that we've seen him, but I just can't tell until they get to the coal mining operator, whatever the fuck it is, the space version of coal. And he's like, I've got you. You're mine. I have been waiting for this for a long time. 10 years.
That was like, oh my god, the whole thing was just like, it was like so tense, and it was so cool, but also so tense, and just like it was just so cool to see. I could only imagine like how fucking cool and shit it was for like you and all the other like hardcore Star Wars fans, because I'm like not, you know, like I'm still very, very new, and just seeing that and knowing even just a little bit of, you know, like the lore and stuff, I was just like, oh my god, oh my god. So yeah, how did you feel like when, you know, when that shit happened?
When Obi-Wan turns around and Vader's right there. Okay, first of all, Vader's a very dramatic person, and I have evidence of this. So you go to Rogue One, you watch that. At the end of it, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. At the end of that, we have one of the best scenes of Vader ever. There's a dark hallway with 6 or so rebels, just like terrified, no breathing. And then Vader ignites his lightsaber and all his lights turn on. That motherfucker turned off his breathing apparatus to be dramatic, to scare the shit out of these guys, and it worked. Vader did the same thing with Obi-Wan. This man is nothing but dramatic. He's a drama queen. And he's got a flair for it, if you will. He turns off his respirator to scare the ever-loving shit out of the person he's hunting.
Fucking ass.
Psychological warfare 101, man, I guess. You know, fuck. But, you know, seeing the best line out of the show is, what happened to you? I am what you made me. Oh, God.
Oh,
and then
I know,
you should have killed me when you had the chance. I agree.
But he pretty much did. Like how could anyone have lived through that? Like he thought how could he not think he had killed him, you know?
I mean, even still, you gotta make, I mean, and this is no fault of Obi-Wan's, because I don't know if I could do that in this situation, but looking on the outside, and you see him just burnt to a crisp, it'd be just easier to walk over, turn your lightsaber, stick it in his back, and just make sure he's dead. Put him out of his misery. Because if not, that motherfucker's gonna be so angry. He will literally be too angry to die.
I agree that you should always make sure the bad guy is dead, and not just, you know, sort of dead. But like, I can only imagine, like, again, from what you've showed me of that scene, like he was like tortured, even just having to fight him and seeing him like that. Like, he looked so tortured, and he was, you know, saying something like, you know, you were my brother and stuff like that. Like it was probably hard enough for him to see him dragging himself like all burnt to a crisp and just looking like that and then knowing that he did that to him, you know, so probably the going and making sure he's dead would have just been like
Would have
it
been too
maybe
much.
yeah, like overkill, like it probably would have felt almost evil to him, maybe, just to guess, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know. But on the other hand, I guess it depends on the person, because to some people it maybe would have seemed like putting him out of his misery, you know,
Yeah.
which, but I don't know, I just feel like the way I've seen that scene, I feel like it was like it would have been overkill, like it would have
Yeah.
felt like wrong. I don't know, but I mean, obviously, it would have been the right thing to
Yeah.
do.
It would have saved a lot of people and a lot of lives.
Yeah. Oh, that
I mean,
sucks.
like I said, I don't know if I could have done that in his position. I don't know. Like, so let's say if me and my brother were in that situation, I don't know if I could do that.
Oh my God, no!
But you know, and Anakin or Vader, sorry, because Anakin is no longer there in a sense. Vader has taken over. Vader is almost justifiably angry, I would say.
Okay.
Because there's a deleted line in Revenge of the Sith where Anakin is on the lava river, right? And he's trying to crawl up. You can see in a brief scene where his mouth is moving, "Help me," instead of "I hate you." And there's a lot of fan theories going around that if Obi-Wan had just like went down there, picked him up, took him to the ship, and like, "It's all right, buddy, we'll get you some help," a lot of things would have been different. But obviously they can't go that way.
I don't agree.
I mean, basically, for all intents and purposes, he's half of a man. What's he gonna do? Crawl away?
Yeah, there's there's no, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I'm sure there will be plenty of people who would be like, "Bitch, you don't even know shit, and you're trying to tell people, you know, tell Star Wars fans how it is."
And you need to tell them to fuck off.
I hope nobody sees it like that, but or takes it like that.
If
But
they do, they can talk to me. Ain't no hate on this channel. Bitch. Every opinion is equally valid, motherfucker.
Thank you. I just feel like I just feel like, you know, like you talk.
So, I mean, to answer your question, how I felt like when I was first watching Star Wars, like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is great." You know, just that sense of, "Damn, that's nuts." A lot of people have been, and I was one of them until I read that quote that I read you, and it put a lot of things in perspective. I was like, "Man, Obi-Wan, you are a warrior. You need to whoop some burnt ass." Like, connect with the Force. But also, I kind of think this is the catalyst that will get him back into the gym and get him back into fighting shape. Been like, "Damn, I just got my ass handed to me. The only reason I'm not dead was Vader was toying with it. He was playing with his food." And and one of the things I think, and my brother made this point, he's like, "You know, you have Obi-Wan right there. Your suit is fire retardant, I think." I know it's
after what he's been through.
Ironically, his suit is weak to lightning, and that's a failsafe put in by the Emperor. So I mean, he just
right?
No, Vader is very weak to lightning. That's actually how he dies. But I would have, if I was Vader and I had my prey right there, tantalizingly close, I would have just jumped over that fire. Done dealio.
No, see, you wouldn't have done that because, see, you would be a different bad guy, maybe. Or
Me personally, I would be a very different bad guy. But if I was in Vader's shoes, just full of anger, hate, and contempt, being a crotchety motherfucker all the time, yeah, I would have jumped over that flames and ended his life like a twig.
I get it. I feel that way about like if it was a okay, so let's say that Vader has a couple enemies that
Oh,
were
he's got a fair few.
yeah, I feel like with an enemy, like maybe yes, he would be like, and you're done. But like with Obi, I would assume like I would just guess that like it's like it's not enough, it's not enough to kill him. He wants to torture him. Like
He wants to be sadistic,
yeah, and make him like just
suffer.
yeah,
Well, and
basically because
that's why I was saying he.
than just killing him.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was saying. I think he was playing with his food a little too much. Yeah, it's like, look, buddy, I get you want to like draw this out like very painful, like oh my god, but sometimes you got to just kind of cut the head off the snake.
I mean, yeah, I guess it probably would have been in Vader's best interest at the moment to do that, but also because he could have killed like okay, so once the lady had like made shots,
Mhm.
she was like blowing shit up and like saved him for the second time. Once she did that, which was so cool and awesome and like yay. But like
Lucky Obi.
I know, yeah, she's cool, and I'm already sad because I feel like she's gonna die.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so that's already breaking my heart because like ugh, anyway, um, um, sorry, I get sad easy.
That's fine.
Like it's just a tragedy, but
The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
pretty much. But like when she had saved him for the second time and he could have still killed like he could have still if not
Easily
killed
ended
him,
that.
he could have gone he chose not to like continue chasing him in that moment,
Mhm.
like he could have easily like he was already burnt and shit and he could have instead of just like he just watched, he stared at him going away and then he turned around and just walked away and it's like like he could have if he wanted to end it, if he really wanted him like dead that bad, he could have done it, or at the very least he could have kept trying. Like he didn't have to give up so easily. So he definitely wants to torture him, which
Mhm.
just fucking sucks.
Well, here's something I just thought about. So we know Anakin and Vader are always in for most of the part of Vader's life. Anakin is pretty much suppressed, and Vader is on the top. Sometimes Anakin breaks free and regains control. Very brief moments. Like in Clone Wars Season 7, he picks up Ahsoka's lightsaber and he looks up and he sees I think it's called a Morai. He sees the Morai. And when he looks up, you can see for like the briefest of moment, you can see blue eyes underneath Vader's lens. Now, if they were his yellow Sith eyes, they would have been a little bit more brighter and they would have been a different color. The red would have distorted it to a different color. However, you see Anakin's blue eyes. So he can gain control for brief moments.
I mean, I love that very much. That is like just the poeticness of it and also the hope, that like even though you don't want this evil sack of crap to be just you want there to always be like kind of good. I guess it's for the optimistic people, like you want there to still be a ray of hope and a chance and a stuff like that. And so that's really awesome. I love that. But like how do you know, I guess you don't really know, like
Unless you're looking at unless you can see Vader's eyes, then you won't. I mean, there obviously some things like Anakin feels so guilty about what he does or what he has done and will do that he lets Vader just take the pilot seat, because in one sense it's very easy to say, well, that was Vader who was doing it. It wasn't me, you know. But he also feels guilt for everything that he's done. So in some moments, like when he grabbed Ahsoka's lightsaber at the end of the Clone Wars season 7, Anakin just comes out and is like, oh shit, you know. But Vader is always trying to eliminate Anakin's past, eliminate the threat of Anakin coming back to the surface and being in the pilot seat. So Vader is trying to kill off Anakin's past so he can be like, look, there's no one here for it's let me take the reins. There's no one here to remember who you were. But that's where Luke comes in, Luke and Leia, because they represent Vader's or Anakin's future, not the past. They know nothing of what their father's done. They don't know that he went into the Jedi Temple and slaughtered a bunch of younglings. They know nothing of his betrayal. So they would be, when they would meet Anakin as their dad, not as Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, murderer of millions.
I mean, I get that, but they also know, like, they like, how do they not know of Darth Vader, you know?
Well,
like,
not very many people knew. They knew that Vader was an enforcer. They had no idea who Vader really was. All they saw was him as a big ass black samurai who killed a lot of people.
Yeah, but like a bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm. But they had no idea that there was two personalities in him.
Mm-hmm.
So if and Luke and Leia represented Vader or Anakin's future, not his past. Anakin felt so guilty about his past, he was willing to let Vader wipe it out. So no one remembers what he did, but his kids will not know of his past. They won't know of what all he's done. So they wouldn't be as quick to judge as people he knew beforehand, if that makes sense.
So does that ever happen?
Oh, yeah. So, the 6th movie, Anakin breaks free, kills the Emperor, and Anakin is redeemed. I think the chapter of the movie is called The Redemption of Anakin. Or the song or something like that. There's something, The Redemption of Anakin. And he dies in his son's arms, knowing that his son will forever look at him as Anakin Skywalker, savior of the galaxy.
Oh my god. Overload, system overload.
I'm telling you, they're like, you ever seen like those mind charts of all these different like spider webbing things? That's what goes on in my brain when Star Wars. Like, you look at one thing, there's like 2 or 3 different things in the background that you got to keep track of. It's
It's
and
a lot.
that's why he loved the clones. The clones were loyal to him, Anakin or Vader, because no matter what Vader did, he was always leading from the front, willing to be shot at and get shot while leading them. Vader not so much saved their lives, not so much as going out of his way to save a trooper or two. Anakin, very much so. Vader would not inflict casualties just willy-nilly. He was very loyal to the regular grunts. Now the officers he fucking hated, rightly so. The officers were incompetent and power hungry. The soldiers were just were like, dude, we just follow orders, man. We go, we shoot, we die, we win. Woo!
I like that.
It's a very simplistic view of the world.
Yeah. I guess for most soldiers, that's kind of how it is.
Probably. And one of the most touching things Vader, and I do mean Vader, ever did. I think I told you about this one. Hold on, let me grab it before I forget. The episode ended kind of weird for me, before we go off on this tangent. Episode ended a little weird. Reva somehow got in front of Leia, don't know how, and she takes Leia hostage, and then they all live to fight another day.
Oh my god, I was so just like, I mean, I love that Leia's like very like she's smart. She's a smart cookie for her age, like, and even just in general, because she knew right away that that bitch was like, up to no good. So she was like turned and ran back, which obviously isn't gonna do much, but I don't know, like just knowing that now she has her and Obi's all crispy. So like what how do we have the upper hand right now? I don't know. It doesn't seem like we do.
Yeah, and that's one thing Star Wars is very good about is like when there seems no hope, like it ends on it's like, man, this is fucked. The next episode or the next movie is like, no, we're not that fucked. We're gonna find our way out. I mean, Empire Strikes Back was like that. It started with the rebels getting their asses kicked on at Echo Base, and then I was like, well, maybe we can escape and we can do this and da 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 da, and we're good. All right, hold on, I'm trying to. No, what the fuck? It's gotta be here.
What are you trying to pull up?
I'm trying to find the clone, which clone he or like what his story was. I don't remember it exactly. What is it? Is this guy it? Yes, here it is. CT-4981 Contrail. He was a pilot, and let's see, he got demoted to the rank of stormtrooper after a fuck up in the Imperial Navy. I don't necessarily remember if it was his fault or not. I don't think it was. Let's see. Sabotage by rebel infiltrators. Okay, so Contrail rescues Vader. Clone trooper Contrail rescues Vader. And so, let's see. As they were, as he was retreating to the shuttle, Vader was being shot at. So Contrail, risking his own life, helped Vader to the shuttle by, not necessarily picking him up because he's a fucking robot and he's heavy as shit. Like had Vader drape his arm around his shoulder and was walking him to the shuttle, making sure his back was towards enemy fire, so Vader wouldn't get hit. And with doing that, that touched Vader. Vader was like, "Holy fuck, that's damn, dude." And as CT-4981 was lying there in the shuttle after he got just lit the fuck up, he's like, hold on, let's see.
How do we know that was Vader and not Anakin that was touched by that moment?
Before Contrail died, Vader, who had been known during the Clone Wars as Jedi General Anakin Skywalker, Contrail's commanding officer, comforted the dying clone trooper, commending his piloting skills. So Anakin knew him during the Clone Wars. He was a 501st pilot, and probably flew with Anakin a lot. And the way that I want to think it's Vader, but
Really?
I mean, yeah, Vader and Anakin are pretty much two sides of the same coin. They're really the same person, but they have identity crises.
So why would you think it's Vader instead of Anakin in that moment?
The way I saw it in the video, the Vader's kneeling down to Contrail, the clone trooper, and Contrail was like, I kind of want to know what happened to General Skywalker. I fought with him for years, and Vader goes, I was always impressed by your piloting skills. Now, I'm not quoting verbatim, obviously. And Contrail was like, so you the motherfucker. I knew it. I knowed it. As he's dying, comforting him, saying, I don't
know. I feel like wouldn't that be more Anakin though, since he's the one who knew him?
Well, Vader.
Or do they have the same memories and stuff? Right?
They have the same memories.
Well,
so think about it. You got two people in one brain. Like, let's say the left side is Vader, the right side is Anakin, right? They both share memories, but they're two starkly different personalities. So when Vader's on top and is controlling, he's got the whole brain except for maybe 2 or 3% where Anakin was. So Vader has access to all of Anakin's memories, knows everything, because, I mean, he technically is Anakin.
Mhm.
And Anakin has all of Vader's memories. So it's like they're both aware of what's going on. One is kind of like piloting, and one is co-piloting.
So does I think it's really cool that like Anakin's still there in sort of in a way, like, you know, but I kind of wish that he would be able to control more, you know.
Well, and I think in those tender moments, like the sentimental moments, I think that's more of Anakin showing rather than Vader. But Vader kind of allows it, if that makes sense. Well,
Why would he allow it?
because no one was before the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Not very many people knew Vader's true identity as Anakin Skywalker. I think like 5 or 6 people knew before Luke and Leia were born, and it was Bail Organa, which probably from talking to Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Palpatine. Those were like the 4 people who knew. So him revealing that he was Anakin Skywalker was probably Vader going, this guy's dying anyways. Let's kind of put him at ease. So he let Anakin kind of like take the reins a little bit and was like, just comfort this guy. I'm not really good at comforting people. You do this. I'm outsourcing this to you.
Mm.
And, you know, when it was done, I literally think after Contrail died, Vader went out of the shuttle and just wrecked shit. Because those fucking scum, rebel scum, killed a clone trooper, had served faithfully through the Clone Wars, survived that hellhole just to be shot by a bunch of insurgents. So that probably pissed him off. And that would piss me off.
Yeah. Sorry.
You have mail. But, so, I mean, Vader is evil, but he has some touching sides.
That is so hard to like, well, for me to like, I don't know, I guess accept, you know, or just it's because I understand. I mean, sometimes I get confused, but I understand. But like, it's just hard to accept, I guess, because like it's hard to not like
Hate him?
tire, like, yeah, because I hate the crap out of Vader, and it's hard to like, you know, you feel bad for Anakin, and it's hard to juggle that, I guess.
I don't necessarily feel bad for Anakin, because I mean he chose this. He willingly chose to fall to the dark side. God, English, please. So I mean, and atrocities fuel the dark side. Rage, anger, and hate, and pain fuel the dark side. So I mean, he didn't necessarily know what he was getting into, but he kind of was like, this probably isn't gonna end well. But I get to save my wife. Maybe.
So I guess maybe I won't feel bad for him, like, when I ever see the movies, you know, but like his story, you know, see that part of his story about choosing the dark side, because yeah, I guess if he does choose it, it's pretty, yeah, I don't think I would feel bad for him then.
The old saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, kind of sums up Anakin's story, because he's just a guy who wanted to be a Jedi, right? Met the love of his life, but the Jedi Order was like, you can't do that. And he's like, why not? That makes no fucking sense. Why can't we have love and attachment because attachment leads to the dark side. Well, what's the dark side? We can't teach you that. Stop asking those questions. But why can't I ask those questions? What's so inherently wrong about this? Well, the dark side is evil. Okay, I get that. But why? What makes it evil? Well, rage, anger, and hate lead to it. Okay. But how? Like, we don't know anything about this. Well, the dark side was destroyed, so you don't need to worry about that. Are you sure about that? I'm not so sure about that.
I guess like you can't like love someone, like really like love them and be attached to them and not let like you if you have those feelings, then you would be open to the hate and the rage
The
and
jealousy and everything that it brings with it.
but that's just like sucks.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
mean, one of the reasons I said the Jedi was a very bad organization on whole is they were too arrogant. They think they wiped out the Jedi, the Jedi wiped out the Jedi. The Jedi wiped out the Sith. I think it was at the Battle of Ruusan. I think it was because the Ruusan Reformation. Yeah, I think that was it. I think they think they wiped them all out, right? Obviously not true, otherwise Palpatine wouldn't exist. But they went about their lives very arrogantly. Instead of studying all aspects of the Force, they went a very narrow, dogmatic view of the light side. The early Jedi, that's spelled with two I's, I believe, practiced both the light and the dark. When one went too far into the dark side, they meditated in a light side shrine. When one went too far on the light side, they went into the dark side. So it was a perfect balance.
yeah, that definitely seems wise.
And a lot of the Jedi who survived Order 66 were more gray Jedi, like Quinlan Vos, Ahsoka Tano, not really a Jedi, but hey, whatever. Jocasta Nu, the Jedi librarian, she was very light side. She was also a bitch, but what librarian really isn't.
Oh my god! Don't
I
even say
have not had many pleasant experiences with librarians.
what.
You can't read this book. It's a college level. You're in second grade. Yeah, I can read it. What does this word mean? Tells you exactly. You still can't check it out. You're just mad I just showed you up, bitch. Yeah, I have a very bad experience.
I wanted to be a library for one time, or for a good one. It's more like, I don't know if want is the right word. It's more like, I mean, I did want to, but it's because I thought, like I wouldn't have to be around like many people, and even if there were people, they have to be quiet. So, like, I thought maybe that would be a good fit for me, but
I mean, hey, you may be the one librarian I actually like, but a lot of librarians just looked at me and they're like, you can't read that. It's like, yes, I can. I've been reading this since the 4th grade. And I remember exactly what book I was going to check out. I was going to check out Harry Potter and the Goblet of fucking Fire. I was going to read it in 2nd grade. And
you're such a nerd.
I really am. And this has touched a nerve. Because fuck that lady. If you're watching this, fuck you. I'm still reading those books and I know what they mean. So suck it.
I'm just kidding, by the way. I say nerd lovingly, and I just yanking your chain.
Oh, I know. But this has to come out, man. In high school, I wanted to check out, as a freshman, I wanted to check out The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Librarian was like, no, you can't do that. You can't read that. I'm going to strangle you.
Did they really stop you, or were you at least allowed to check it out at the end?
Oh, they stopped me.
That
By
sucks.
my senior year, that was the last time I ever stepped foot in the library there. So I was like, fuck y'all, I'm done. I went home that night. I was like, Mom, Dad, you won't believe what happened to me today. They're like, what? I was like, I was told I can't check out a book because it's way too far above my reading level. They're like, what do you mean? You've been on a college reading level since you were fucking 5. I was like, I know. I remember taking the AR tests. I remember. In my freshman year in English class, they would call on me because I could read old English text and I could understand it.
That's cool.
I could read Romeo and Juliet and understand what's going on. My teacher stopped calling on me because I'd be reading ahead and they call me like, I'm sorry, what page were we on? 42. Jesus Christ, I'm on the end of the book.
That's awesome. That's like a superpower.
Oh god, and it drives people wild. But when I read a book, I don't read every single word. I almost like skim read, but I get what the passage is talking about. I can't always put it into words, but I understand what's going on. It
Yeah,
drove
there's a name for that. I forgot what it's called.
it drove my teachers insane because I can't spell observatory, but I know what melancholy means.
That's cool. I feel like
I have such a
Yeah.
bone to grind with that.
no, don't feel negative about like.
Oh, I
Like-
showed them up in the end because I took the ASVAB when I was a junior, and I
didn't know
scored
about that.
phenomenally. It's the military occupational test. Basically
oh,
decides what you're gonna do in the military when you go in.
Oh, okay.
I scored poorly in math and science, but my reading was off the charts.
That's awesome.
So they were like, "You're qualified to shoot a rifle and read." I was like, "Yeah, pretty much." You can fix a car. I was like, I can, but I don't want to.
Fix a car?
Yeah, you could be in the motor pool.
Oh.
And I was like, I just want to get in the Marines, you know, I think at the time you had to get like a 30. And I didn't really take the test all that seriously because I was like, fuck this, I hate tests. So I think I got like a 45 or something like that. So I was well within standard ranges.
Hmm.
The ACT, I showed up, fucking nailed the reading portion, sucked it up on the math portion and science portion because fuck that.
What's that one?
The American College Test, I believe, is what the acronym stands for. It's basically to see how smart, to test your aptitude for college, to see if you're ready to go or not.
I see.
But the way, and I knew this going into it, they would ask you a simple question in the most fucked up way possible.
What do you
So it'd be like,
mean?
so if the sky is blue and the clouds are purple and the water is green, what color is that ant on the ground? It's like, what the fuck do you, red, I think? And then you were supposed to like infer, because it's like, what color wasn't there from the rainbow or something? It's like, what? I was
It's like a
like,
trick
why?
question.
Yeah, it was all trick questions, and I got a very low score on the ACT. And still got into college, so fuck you. And then promptly dropped out, so fuck you again.
Oh.
That was my own choice, actually.
Well,
We have moved so far away from Star Wars. I am sorry. There was like a film over my eyes, and I just went straight into that. I apologize.
it's not. It's not. Don't worry. It's good conversation. And also, just real quick, like, yeah, I would have liked to do like philosophy in college. I would have
Oh,
thought that.
no, you don't.
Yes.
No, you don't. I thought the same thing. No, you don't.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I think I would have liked it. I don't know if I would have been good, but I think I would have really enjoyed it. But anyway, so yeah, go back to Star Wars.
I will touch on this. I thought the same thing. It was like, man, I'm a pretty decent arguer. You know, I argue with my brother all the time, who's a fucking lawyer. That is the most boring
Don't say that.
class I am telling you this to save you the money and save you the time.
Mm.
That was the most bullshit class I think I have ever taken in my life, and I have taken Christian psychology.
That sounds interesting, actually.
It really wasn't.
It sounds interesting, and I don't know. I love philosophy because I guess because I don't understand a lot of things, and I've always felt like I kind of don't. So I want to know why, and I want to know how, and I want to know for what, and
Oh, you'll be pondering those questions till the end of days. Trust me.
I love that because that's how you know. And once you learn something, there's more questions, and so
Ugh.
you get to learn more and learn more and learn more. I like
I don't
that.
mind learning, but it's the pedantic nature of the professors who teach it is just infuriating. they pick apart every tiny little detail. It's like, look, dude, I don't give a fuck when Socrates was alive. I understand his contributions. I understand what Aristotle did and all these other Greek motherfuckers who had nothing but time on their hands, so they pondered. I just need a grade.
No, I wish so bad that you gave philosophy another chance. Because, look, I don't know how your teachers were, or
Assholes.
the curriculum or whatever, but like, I just wish you would give philosophy another chance.
Why
Maybe-
ask why when you can ask how? No, 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 no. Don't you twist this on me, motherfucker.
But it wasn't about. I feel like you're taking it as personal attacks.
Oh,
And-
I know. I just feel like I wasted $300 and fucking 4 weeks of my time.
Okay. I'm gonna find you a book that. I mean, you love books and you love reading, and you hate philosophy. But I'm gonna find you one that there's a series that I like, and I don't remember for sure, but I think there might be a Star Wars related one, and I think maybe you would really like it. So if they did make one, because I can't remember if they did Star Wars, but if they did and I find it, or even if they didn't, I know somebody did. So I'll find you a good one, and then maybe you can give it a try.
I'll give it a try.
Yay!
But like I said, I love psychology, but I also realize there's no money in psychology.
I mean,
No, when you get down to brass tacks, there's really not much money, especially in today's world.
I mean, Dr. Curry.
My psychology teacher was working as a psychologist for first and foremost, and a high school / college teacher during the week to make ends meet. I mean, there's just not much money in psychology.
Maybe not with every job that you could get with that, but like there's definitely some money to be made. But it would.
I mean, yeah, maybe if I was Amber Heard's psychologist. Then topical, ain't we?
Oh shit!
Come and
I
get
mean-
me.
You know, never mind. I was gonna say some stuff like, but
I still don't know the full like legal details of what I can't like what I know right now. I followed that trial very closely. I saw its verdict. I'm very happy about the verdict.
I mean,
I understand that she's I don't want to go like full on like, oh my god, because I'm afraid she'll try to sue people for defamation of character.
Fuck
Jesus
her.
fucking
Nobody with
Christ.
common sense. What?
She's a right piece of work, that lady.
That is putting it so nicely. But
I'm
yeah,
trying to keep my channel, unfortunately. Otherwise,
I know. I could literally just like.
I could go on a rant for hours about that. It's just.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh, you know what? Never mind. Let's just.
Let's get back to Star Wars. We got about maybe 10 more minutes before I went to go read.
Okay.
And I'll probably be watching The Bad Batch in preparation to kind of like freshen up on everything. I know we're not close, but it's nice to keep things in the forefront of my mind.
I understand.
So, I mean, with the episode, I really enjoyed this one. There were some things I'm concerned about which weren't necessarily addressed, but they may be addressed later. Like, one of the things I'm totally fine with was Vader and Obi-Wan meeting. They'd never, to my recollection, it's been a long time since I've seen A New Hope, but I don't think in the movie they were like, yeah, I haven't seen Obi-Wan since then, da-da-da-da. So maybe this was the last time that they were talking about they saw each other. Not necessarily Mustafar, but like right then and there.
Yeah,
So,
it would either have to be the case, you know, like, or they're just like you said, they're fucking with the, you know, the
continuity of everything.
mhm. Yeah.
So I mean, that's one of the things I actually don't mind, because like, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't they meet? Obi-Wan would probably have been found in the 20 years that he's been hiding. No one's that good.
I mean, I want to say he is that good.
Well, if he stayed on
Because,
Tatooine, yeah, but obviously not.
I mean, that's because he came out to help, take care of Leia. But if he didn't come out to do that, I
He
think
probably
he
would have
would.
stayed hidden, but
Mhm.
one of the things that one of the concerns that wasn't addressed in this episode is the Grand Inquisitor. We see him in Star Wars Rebels. I think it was season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. We see him, and he dies.
Guy?
Yeah, the big ball guy. And he dies by another Jedi of the name of Kanan Jarrus, or Caleb Doom is his actual name. So Kanan kills the Grand Inquisitor. So that's how he dies, or that's how he died canonically before Obi-Wan. I don't know if that's going to mean there's a different Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused on that, but I'm sure they'll rectify it.
What did in the canon? Did he die before this time with the third sister?
Nope.
Okay, so maybe she didn't kill him. Like maybe she thought she did, or maybe it missed his heart or something.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it wasn't like a death wound or a death blow. But then again, you stab somebody in the stomach with a lightsaber, it's pretty cut and dry that they're going to die. Unless there's another Grand Inquisitor who looks like him, but wasn't the guy who we see in Rebels. That could be, I mean, that's just one of those confusing plot holes that I'm not sure about.
Yeah, hopefully that. I kind of hope that he is alive then, because then he could get revenge on her.
That'd be nice.
Which I would like, and also just because I don't know, I feel like then it would make sense, like, because that would suck if because there was no point, like not no point, but they didn't have to make her kill him. So like that wouldn't have done much other than just get him out of the way, but they could have done that another way. So like to have her kill him, if they didn't need to and they know in canon he died another way, it would just be like annoying and pointless. So hopefully they that he's really not dead, or like you said, hopefully there's
There's like a
another
twin
dude.
of him running around, you know? Maybe. We'll see.
There was something I wanted to ask you before we end
All right.
about this. So let me see if I wrote it down. Let's see. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just sitting there thinking, one of the other things that I'm interested to see is, so we know the clones have been transitioned out by this time, obviously, because you had that clone beggar in episode 2, that was just sitting there. But we know there is at least some clone troopers by the time of the Battle of Endor, which is, I think, like 20 years down the road. I think something like that. I'm wondering how long they're gonna take to phase out, because it's 10 years in the Bad Batch. It's like 3 fucking months after the Empire rose, and they're already phasing clones out. So I'm wondering how long that took. And we're seeing a lot more, and I honestly am kind of a fan of this. We're seeing a lot more female stormtroopers. I mean, obviously, if you're human-born recruits, there's going to be some female national, like, yeah, rah, rah, Empire. So I think that's an interesting thing. But yeah, I my heart goes with the clones, man. I feel for them. They didn't really have a choice in this. They were basically slaves to the Galactic Republic, and even more so to the Empire. But yeah,
Well, I couldn't find the other one that I was wanting to ask you, but there was a part where the third sister went where Obi was hiding with Leia and the lady, and she was like touching the symbol on the wall,
Mhm.
and I had no clue what that symbol was or why she was like so mad after she saw it.
Yeah, I don't know why she has such a hard on for killing Jedi. Like, what the fuck happened? That
Do you think that we'll see? Sorry for interrupting.
I kind of want it because I'm like, what the fuck gives you such a boner for killing Jedi? What? Why are you so pissed off about this? Did you see the Jedi emblem and you're like, fuck this, destroy the world? Like, why?
Oh, that was the Jedi emblem.
Yeah,
Then?
it was the Jedi Order symbol. Like, what happened, lady? Did they take like your favorite toy or something? Like, shit.
I will. Like maybe she super looked up to them and she always wanted to be one, and then maybe she met like her hero and they were a jerk to her or something, and either she's taking it out on Obi, or maybe I don't know. That's all I
It's
can think. 'Cause
I
she
just
definitely has a fucking issue with that. Like, what is her deal?
major issue. We gotta find out why, man. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
she's got
Jesus,
like the biggest chip on her shoulder, and
right?
it's just like
Like
like specifically of Jedi's, and yeah, it's
specifically
just
Obi-Wan. Like, what did
yeah,
Obi-Wan do to you that made you so angry? Like, are you blaming him for this entire like ordeal?
some now that we're talking more about, like, if we don't eventually find out that there was some kind of thing that she obviously would have perceived a certain way, in negative way, it's like he's a good guy, so he wouldn't have been like being a jerk to this little girl or anything.
Yeah,
So like whatever the fuck it is, why she hates him so much and has this like issue with him, like I hope we get to find out, because if we never find out what the fuck our problem is, I'm gonna be kind of annoyed, to be
yeah.
honest.
It's like, look, I wanted to understand why she's got like this huge ass chip on her shoulder about this.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I get the fourth brother. I kind of like him, the buff Asian guy. He survived. He survives until Star Wars Rebels, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, he dies in a rather spectacular manner. Um, but I think it was the second sister does not. She does not die. She dies very stupidly, if I will. But we haven't seen the second sister. I'm not sure who the yellow girl is, or even what race she is. I might do a little bit of research on that tonight.
She's new.
She may be a new species. I don't know. But she's not like, I could believe her being an Inquisitor. She's not necessarily like got this big ass chip on her shoulder, but she's definitely there to hunt Jedi. She means all business. The fourth brother, I get it, man. Like, he's trying to vie for power, and this upstart young Inquisitor's kind of getting in his way. Just fucking kill her, dude. You're an Inquisitor, for God's sake. Just you commit atrocities. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and end the YouTube video here. I really enjoyed this time, Miss Noodles. Thank you for hopping on here, having this discussion with me. I'm sorry it took about an hour and 50 minutes.
No, I have all the fun. I always enjoy doing this, even though I get nervous. But like, yeah, thank you for inviting me back on. And
Well, I think from now on you're gonna be my Star Wars like official. You're gonna be the co-host when we talk about Star Wars, because it's definitely fun talking about it. And
fun, and thank you just for getting me into the show, because
yeah,
I wouldn't even be watching, like, if it weren't for you, and I'm really enjoying it. So I can't wait for the next episode, even though I'm bummed that's gonna be ending soon.
I'm just interested to see where they go with this. I mean, the whole burning of Obi-Wan's arm, I didn't necessarily mind. It kind of seemed like Vader was like, "This is your just desserts, bitch." Now you kind of feel a fraction of what I feel every day.
Exactly.
So I mean, yeah, like YouTube and Twitch peoples, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
It has been a blast. It really has.
Thank you, and anybody watching, thank you for watching and just taking the time. I hopefully enjoyed it and would super appreciate, liking the video and subscribing because we're trying to reach certain goals. So that would be great.
Oh yeah, I'm actually gonna that was the outro. She's gonna leave it there. She did a fantastic job. She's doing my job for me. See? Surround yourself with people who do it better than you, and you'll always succeed. All right, guys. With that note, I will see you guys probably. I will see you on Twitch Monday. I'm gonna take the weekend off and enjoy and kind of rewatch some Star Wars and come back Wednesday when the next episode airs, or Thursday probably, and I'll probably be a little bit more fresh on some stuff. But I hope all you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye bye.